guys, it's Lauren and this is my Weber Weekly Update. Today I'm going to give you an update on the turf that was installed, and unfortunately I don't have good news to share. I don't want this to be a dumping, but I want to share what I've gone through, what I've learned, in hopes that none of you ever have to go through this yourself. So let's jump into it. Alright, so I have to admit, a part of me is a little bit embarrassed. A lot of talking to myself about like, I should have known better, I should have followed my gut, I should have done all these things. But I'm sharing this because I want to keep it real. This is kind of like parts of the ups and downs of home ownership, and the grass isn't always greener on the other side, but in my case it actually is. Just installed really bad and improperly. So let me talk about what had happened. The guy that I hired did do a phenomenal job with my planner, the pavers, the concrete work, the drainage, and that is his expertise. And the part that is beating myself up is I would never hire a plumber to do my roof. I would never hire an electrician to do my pavers. So I shouldn't have hired the concrete guy to do my turf. He said he had done it before. I hadn't seen work. He didn't do that for my dad. He did do concrete work for my dad. So reviews go a long way. I think someone's portfolio goes a long way, just checking their work that they have done in the past, checking the sources, checking referrals. All of those things are so important if they have not done work for you before or anyone that you know. So to be completely honest, I had this gut feeling when I signed up for him for this whole project that something was off. And what I kept thinking was, am I overpaying? That was the number one thing. But I think what really happened was I wasn't comfortable with him doing the turf. And I knew this. I knew this from the beginning. I was getting bids from actual turf companies. So I should have hired him for the concrete, planter, drainage work, and then had someone else come in to do the actual turf work. And I just thought I would see how it goes. I would trust him, trust in the process. You know, he seems like a trustworthy guy. He knows what he's doing. It's gonna be fine. So I made that video last week. I'm like, oh, it's great. And then that day, as the turf was going in, I'm no turf expert, but I can use Google and YouTube, and I can see that it was clearly done incorrectly. So let's start with the base. He put gravel in, and any YouTube video that I watched shows that it needs to be compacted with like a granite or some kind of special mineral mix, and they flatten it out. So that was not done. I'm like, you're just gonna lay the turf on top of these rocks? That seems weird. And then something that I did learn in the bids that I got was that the blade should face you, just the way that it looks, and it's faced the wrong way. That was my first inkling that something was off and that they didn't know what they were doing.
To lift it? Can we lift it?
So I went out and I was like, oh my gosh, the turf is installed the wrong way. And then I went to the front and it's just an even hotter mess. I stuck to my guns about it. I told him I was really unhappy. I told him I thought it was done inaccurately. He kept telling me it was done right, but I just knew. I'm like, I'm no expert, but I knew that something was wrong. So what I did was, while this was all going on, I called the turf company and I sent him pictures, sent him videos, and asked him like what's your professional opinion? He goes, oh no, totally wrong. So what I did was get a rough estimate about how much it would cost to fix it, worked it out with my guy, took that price off of the bill, and I plan on fixing it later. So it worked out. I worked something out where I'm happy-ish. I'm just trying to learn from this, and I'm hoping that I can share with any of you who are going to get major work done to your house. Like, please get multiple bids. Don't cheap out. Don't hire a plumber to do your roof. It's kind of comical because it's so bad, but I have so much compassion. And I feel so much for any of you who have gone through this or had, bad contractors. And that's part of like what I'm thinking, like, At least this isn't a whole full home renovation. I've learned a lot. I will never make this mistake again. And it's in the end of the day, it's gonna be fine. The house looks great. It looks a lot better. And I just have to laugh because okay. That's my dumping for the day. If you've been watching my stories, you already know what's going on behind the scenes, but I had to officially share this. It's not all rainbows and sunshine and butterflies over here. Home ownership is a big responsibility. There are gonna be things that you have to do to keep the maintenance and integrity. It costs money, it takes time, it takes patience. There are learnings, and trust your gut and ask for recommendations for the actual work that you're trying to get done. To end on a positive note, I will share that Larry loves the backyard. I love the backyard. It's nice and clean. It's ready for summer barbecues. And I do love my planter box too. I love succulents, I love gardening, so I'm looking forward to making that into something really enjoyable, watching it grow, and I don't have to worry about the grass anymore. So it's all good. I learned a lot. I hope you learned something too. If you have questions or need anything, feel free to contact me. I hope you are having a great day, and I will see you next week. Bye.